Kissing bugs are pretty elusive. They're nocturnal, and so they tend to come out and be active and feed on blood during the night. They're called kissing bugs because they were initially thought to bite only around the mouth. Why bugs? For me, it's because they carry disease, so they're the vector of this little parasite called Trypanosoma cruzi. And that parasite, if it infects a human or a dog or maybe some other animals, we're not quite sure, but in humans and dogs, we know that that parasite can cause a disease called Chagas disease. And since I'm interested in studying that disease, I should also study the bug that can transmit it from one animal to another animal or a human.
Dry ice emits CO2 as it gets closer to room temperature. Kissing bugs, mosquitoes, they're attracted to it because we emit CO2. And so basically we're hoping that they'll come to this. We've never used this method before.
Is this a typical Saturday night for you two? He's been on more bug collecting stuff on Saturday nights probably than movie nights in the recent months. I remember learning about Trypanosoma cruzi, the parasite that causes Chagas disease, and there's no cure. The treatments are extremely limited, and I remember thinking that would be a really interesting thing to study because you could have so much of an impact by studying that system and getting closer to understanding how the disease system works, because you have to understand that to be able to prevent people and animals from getting the disease in the first place.
I think it's just the shell.
Yep, it's it.
Ugh. They're so gross.
The parasite Trypanosoma cruzi is transmitted via the feces of the kissing bug. The process of infection or transmission is generally understood to be that the bug bites you, and the bug takes several minutes, 10, 15, 20 minutes to actually fill up with blood. If it defecates while it's feeding, while it's still on you or your dog, those feces are then perhaps scratched into the wound when you itch after the bug leaves, or if those feces somehow enter your body through a mucous membrane or through a scratch or cut, that's how infection would occur. That little parasite goes to the heart tissue and infects the heart tissue and causes the heart tissue to weaken, and eventually your heart starts to lose function, and ultimately it can mean complete loss of function of your heart, which would cause cardiac disease and death in people. We received it the 27th of October, 2014, from a public submitter. It's always hard to open stuff with gloves on, but you never know when you open it if it's going to be a bug just all by itself or a bug in a bag. Yeah, look, it even has 2 little eggs, so we know it's a female. This is basically what I would consider the riskiest portion of our work. It's almost like going in for surgery, except we don't need to be sterile. Sometimes you open a bug up and it's just blood. They have 4 wings. I'm going to reach under all 4 and then try to pluck. Oh, that was a good one. So it separated really nicely from the rest of the body. So now he's going to be tough to stick in here because all his legs are sticking out, but that's when head first works better. Sometimes I feel bad for the bugs. In many cases, these diseases are caused by bacteria, parasites, viruses, that their goal is to keep living and reproducing, and they achieve their goal by infecting new things. Yeah, it's called a shake and bake. It has a rocker, so it actually rocks the samples back and forth. Maybe a little bit. After those 4 steps are done, we know whether or not a bug, an individual bug, was infected with the parasite or not, and then I will share those results with the person who submitted the bug.
So how do you feel if you don't find any?
Well, like we tried, and we caught a lot of other cool stuff that we can add to the collection. Science is a process. It's not asking a question and getting an end result. It's asking a question, collecting some data and some information, and then trying to interpret that and understand, what does this information tell me about the question I'm asking? It's messy. Science is inherently messy. I'm not sure yet. I don't know what this is.